This is AI.R. Artists in Residence Broadcasting, coming to you once a week from New York City. How do you do? This is John Cullum and his wife, Emily Franco.
I am in a very funny mood today, John.
What? Why? What's wrong?
I've had a funny idea.
What?
Silly idea.
Okay.
Of how to bother you with a topic.
A topic on what?
I
on
want
M's
to
Talkery.
tell the world
Yes.
how John Cullum keeps records. And John Cullum has handwriting like an accountant. Teeny, perfectly shaped letters. It used to do very well before we ever went into computers. But he has an address book, for instance. Now, John Cullum's address book is a work of art.
Well, Emily, that's...
John, you're just amazing.
Uh-huh.
Your address
book
book
That's a euphemism for it. That's terrible.
John Cullum, you don't want it. Hey, folks, don't give John your address.
Why? Tell him why.
John's address book has addresses of people that have died about 15, 20 years ago.
I don't like to get rid of my friends.
No, it's lovely. It's like a history of John's agents, John's ex-girlfriends.
What?
Too many of them. And a lot of the addresses are wrong.
What, you mean the numbers are wrong?
Yeah.
Well, that's just a matter of opinion. You think they're wrong, and
oh boy,
they're not. And
how
often do I use them anyway? It's just.
Well, the fact is,
what?
I have a good address book.
Mm.
Now, John keeps his address book in alphabetical order, but the fact is, on a computer, you don't really need to keep an address book in alphabet. You just search for a name and you find it. Yeah. But John's are in alphabetical order, and they're formatted exactly the same. The last name, comma, the first name, and then down below a little explanation. Sometimes.
Well, no. Sometimes when I make a new one, I put a little asterisk or a percentage mark in front of it, so that I have half of my book has these little marks in front of them, which ruins the ability to look it up in alphabetical order.
What are the little marks for?
That shows you that this was done. This was a new book that I had added a few things to. And, but I must admit, Emily, over the years, I have found that my address book, with all my meticulous care and sorting out and making exactly right in terms of alphabetizing, is a total mess. You can't find anything, and as you say, about half of the numbers are wrong.
But when I come into John's office and I notice that he's working on his address book, which he does, I think, uh-oh, John is in a strange mood today. He's walking in past history. However, we made a combo. We call it combo, and we have a macro, so we can get to combo.
Right.
And combo is a combination of John's address book and my address book.
Yes.
And it's not rearranged. It's just there. So if you looked up Mary on his book, and then you were also on my book, you'd get all the other Marys too.
You'd get a bunch of Marys.
Now, John, aside from address book when he's not quite sure what he's doing, also likes to play solitaire. Why, John?
I'll tell you.
Tell me.
It's not that I really enjoy playing solitaire very much. It's just that occasionally I have to do something that has a beginning, middle, and ending, even if it's a dubious ending. So I have a sense of having done something.
Accomplished something.
The address book, for instance, has been going on for how many years?
A long time.
30 years, maybe?
Well, a long time.
It never gets finished. It's never good. It's never correct.
You can keep correcting it.
Well, that's why I do play the game, so that I at least have something that has a beginning, middle, and end. I can win, lose, or draw.
Okay. Well, John has now explained. So if you would like to be in touch with John Cullum, I strongly recommend
yes.
Don't send him your address. Just get his email, send him an email, and then he'll struggle with his email.
The sure way of me never being able to contact you is to send me your address, and I will be sure to put it down wrong, and you'll never hear from me again,
John,
even if I write half a dozen letters.
You're uniquely awful.
And you're uniquely wonderful.
See you later, folks.
Next week. This is AI.R. See you next week.